here this afternoon as they make their way out of turn 4 into the restart zone. Green flag is in the air, and once again that outside row gets the jump down into turn 1. That means Justin Bonsignor will lead him to there.
John McKennedy's car did not come up to speed. He tumbles through the field all the way to the back of the pack, but out in front, Justin Bonsignor. That car absolutely flying here on the restart. Patrick Emmerling up to second. Priest now battles back on the inside, side by side for that second spot. Priest going to slide up in front of Emmerling. No, Emmerling with a big drive off. Priest falling through the field now. Priest is in trouble as he is back the 6th or 7th spot.
That's what happens when you don't have a dance partner with you. He's got nobody in that draft with him, and the outside line just rocketed on back as they head down the backstretch. Emmerling to second with a good push from Doug Kobe. Kobe looks to the inside, makes a move down into turn 3, gets around Emmerling and will slide up in front of him. Now the defending champion of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour going after the current point leader and probable champion of 2018, Justin Bonsignor. They're going to duke it out for the lead here as Emmerling stays right on the back bumper. Doug Kobe, they head out of turn 2.
Look at that 4th place runner, young Chase Dowling with the young crew chief. That dynamic duo right there in the thick of this thing. They run in the 4th spot as that battle for second continues. Emmerling to the bottom, up the hill just a little bit. He'll take over the 2nd spot as they make their way down the front straightaway. Kobe back. Now here comes Ryan Priest to the inside. Priest going to work his way to the back bumper of Emmerling, try to help him forward. Out in front, Bonsignor all by himself. Burt Myers in trouble, has to get out of the throttle. He'll gather it up and continue, but loses a couple of spots. Priest now to the back bumper of Emmerling as they head for turn number 3. Those two going to try to get clear and chase down Justin Bonsignor, who leads the way off turn number 4 as we come to 6 to go.
Yeah, Doug Kobe got a shove up the racetrack, and he has drop kicked back several spots as he found himself bouncing off one of the cars that were passing him on the inside. And again, he's way back now in the number 2. Tough break as he's out of the mix. Bonsignor the leader. Emmerling trying to hook up with Priest on the back bumper, and don't count out Chase Dowling. He's right in the thick of it too.
Yeah, Dowling doing a really nice job being smart. They are not getting up into the fray there just yet. He knows there's still 5 laps to go. Emmerling pushing Priest as they try to run down Bonsignor. Priest right to the back bumper of Bonsignor now. Gets away from Emmerling, so Bonsignor going to drive away down the back straightaway. That 51 car, very fast, but he's got 2 guys working together into turn number 3. Priest to the front of the pack off the front bumper of Patrick Emmerling. Emmerling gave Priest a huge shove into turn number 3.
Yeah, rocketed him right underneath Bonsignor, but Bonsignor hangs right there on the back bumper. Those 3 guys nose to tail down into turn number 1, and they'll race around out of turn 2 on the backstretch, and anything goes.
4 laps to go down the back straightaway. Ryan Priest out in front. Bonsignor in second. Emmerling in third. Keep in mind, the block comes into play here. That's been a problem in the past where the leader tries to block the second place guy, and it causes a melee here at the end. Out in front, Ryan Priest will lead the field to turn number 1 with 3 to go.
3 laps to go. The crowd on their feet here at New Hampshire as they follow this battle for the lead off of turn 2 and down the backstretch. Right now, Priest has it, and keeping an eye in that rear view mirror to see where Justin Bonsignor is going to go. Emmerling is right with him. Chase Dowling. They're all running right together here out of turn 4, coming around to get just 2 laps to go.
248 laps later, top 3 under a blanket. 4th place right there as well. Can Dowling get up there and contend out in front? It's Ryan Priest, the Xfinity veteran. Can he use that experience to his benefit? Right behind him, the points leader, the guy who has dominated 2018, going to the front now. Down into turn number 3, Emmerling will push Bonsignor past Priest. Priest will have to settle into second as they come to the white flag.
Yeah, now Bonsignor's got to go on defense as Priest, with a head of steam out of turn 4, looks to the bottom. They go under the white flag, down into turn 1.
Bonsignor out in front, Priest in second. Emmerling could decide this thing between those 2 as they head down the back straightaway. Can Priest get back to Bonsignor? Bonsignor blocks to the bottom. Priest all the way to the apron. They touch, they lean, up the hill they go. Here comes Chase Dowling.
Another surprising finish to the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Coming across the stripe, Chase Dowling gets redemption in the September race and wins it in the number 15. Meanwhile, those other two came together going into turn 3. We saw this in July, plays out again here today, and Chase Dowling is the lucky recipient of that battle going into the final 2 turns. Let's go to Joe, who's got the crew chief.
Well, Stephen Kopchik, so close in July. Now you and your high school buddy win the biggest race, your first ever win as a crew chief and his first as a driver. Describe the moment.
It's unbelievable. That was unexpected. He went into turn 3, freaking third. It's because of these guys right here. It's because of these guys, Rob Fuller and LFR and 1540, and everyone that supports us allows us to do this. That's why just very fortunate.
That's Stephen Kopchik. He and Chase Dowling are going to Sunoco Victory Lane, winners of the Musket 250.
And a couple of cars that didn't quite make it. One limps across the finish line. That is Ryan Preece with that broken number 77. Boy, oh boy, they got into it up there in the 3rd turn. And when you're driving that hard, and Justin Bonsignor through the block, there was no doubt that that's what he was going to do and what he had to do, totally blocking the bottom. But Ryan Preece wasn't about to accept that and got into the back of the 51. They both drifted up the racetrack and finally got hooked together and ended up in the wall. That allowed Chase Dowling to scoot on past to take the win. An unbelievable finish. Great run for Patrick Emmerling, who finishes in the 2nd spot. Burt Myers comes through for 3rd. Andy Seiss in the 4th spot. As the cars on the lead lap, the final car, and one of the reasons Ryan Preece coming down to limp across the line is he'll end up with a 5th place finish as the last car on the lead lap. So we'll hear from some of these drivers, we'll hear from some of these crew chiefs, and of course we'll hear from the winner in Victory Lane as well. As once again, as we've said all day, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour never disappoints when they come here. As again, the finishing order: Chase Dowling, Patrick Emmerling, Burt Myers, Andy Seiss was 4th, and of course Ryan Preece coming across the line with a damaged race car. But as predicted, totally unpredictable, the longest race in the history of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, the biggest paying race, and it went all the way to the end. I mean, the last few feet coming to the finish.
The only thing that you can predict about these modified races at New Hampshire Motor Speedway is that they will be unpredictable. That was unbelievable. It was a great run, a phenomenal finish. 248 laps later, the front 4 are right together under a blanket, and it comes down to those guys, and the guy sitting in 4th going into turn number 3 in the last lap wins the thing in his first career win. What a performance.
Yeah, and unbelievable, as Chase Dowling had to kind of throw the block himself coming down to the finish line to hold off Patrick Emmerling, who really had a head of steam coming out of turn 4. And one of the more disappointed guys is, of course, Ryan Preece, who sits on the wall down there at the bottom of the racetrack just past the start-finish line, looking over that wrecked number 77. But again, because he finished on the lead lap, NASCAR Timing and Scoring has him in a 5th place finish as we wait for Chase Dowling. He's out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. He can hear you down in Victory Lane. Chase Dowling picks up his first and the biggest here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
We're live from Victory Lane. It is so fitting the winner of this race is a Musket, because that 250 laps was certainly a battle of attrition and this the longest modified race in the series history. Getting hugs here with the race winner, Chase Dowling wins this unbelievable race. Chase, let's talk about this with the fans. First and foremost, how are you feeling? Congratulations.
That was a crazy race. I got to thank all you guys for coming out for this Saturday. It was a crazy race, long, obviously 250 laps. We had some green flag pit stops there, so that was pretty neat, and definitely a lot of excitement there at the end.
So talk us through those last couple of laps, because I think most of us were watching some other numbers that were leading this thing. Then all of a sudden, you come across the finish. What happened out there?
Yeah, I wanted to be leading at the end, but it's really hard when the first two cars are battling like that, and you can't really just pull out a line and think you're going to pass both of them. So